Maybe because of my background from engineering, but also going through some trainings or meditation for hours and hours, days and days, I feel I can bridge the gap between the practice of Zen and biology. This sounds like a cartoonish kind of description, but basically this is what I see. Number one, we are born out of the dust of universe. That, I think, is scientifically pretty much proven, even though you may say there's something behind. The facts seem to indicate that all the molecules, the atoms, are coming from whatever the Big Bang or any star collision, whatever happened in the past, whether it's billions of years ago, millions of years ago. With some odd combination, we found life and there's evolution. And our DNA is still evolving, I think, related to what I have in the nature. The environment would let us figure out how to deal with the situation, to live better, or express what we can. Again, what force and what's the reason is another story, but the fact indicate that's the direction. Well, let's look at Zen and Buddhism. Zen and or Buddhism look at the suffering as human being. And I like to focus on the delusion or psychological issue here mainly. But more of a structural, biological issue can be also woven into this discussion. Here I'd like to introduce the idea that I am composed of various components, and I connect that idea, basically borrowed from the idea I called a mini company when I was helping companies to transform. I empowered people. Basically, each unit of the organization can be seen as mini company. Instead of being told what to do, I wanted everyone in the organization to run his own mini company. He's got customers, suppliers, bankers, and employees, and he can develop the mission and figure out the way to improve so that they self-manage. And because of the customer-supplier relationship, the whole network would make this whole company more vibrant instead of everybody waiting for someone above to tell them what to do. Similarly, here the idea is a mini-me. There's me as an individual, but each individual has a subset of me, mini-me's. What are those mini-me's? As I was talking about company and mini company, there's the individual as me, and there's a mini-me as a subset of me. The subset may take this role or that role depending upon the situation, and the subset could be something related to the work or hobby or relationship, the finance, health, whatever that is, or a subset of the subset too. Within health, there may be issue of the knee or the brain issue, the stomach, whatever, or a mini issue of me there, if you want to dig down deep. So we, as in the case of the neuron structure, there are lots of convoluted connection of different, let's call mini-me's and mini-me's as a network. And as you can tell from the MRI, I believe, that, or in some kind of a scientific way, we can see how the connection of those neurons are being done, all the time. It's like a flashing of the lightning from this way or that way. And I'm fairly certain that each of those flash is corresponding to some kind of stimuli, perhaps coming from outside, or stimuli already generated within us. we are connected to the environment, and within us have this platform, so to speak, the network that we can play by itself. It's like playing the computer game within our brain. So we can think forward or backward or regressing this way or that way. And we can just play forever. And the meditation is basically trying to help it in a more stable, comprehensible form so that we don't get lost in what they call the monkey mind. So what is this monkey mind, and what is the clarity that we may be able to develop from meditation? And that's why I want to bring in the idea of this biology. Okay, let's go through this example. I was diving and catching the lobster. At the beginning, I found this big one. I lost it. I was not happy. Next time, I found another one, smaller, but I was happy to get it. Next one after that, I found the smaller one, but this one has legs, so I let go. So each of the event would trigger me different emotion. And after coming back, I have this one lobster, and I felt really bad because I have to kill him. So there's the enjoyment of catching or losing or finding or whatever happens. And if the size is too small, according to the regulation, I cannot keep it. So each of those incidents will bring me some kind of a reaction, lessons learned, what can be done better, or whatever the case is. And then when it comes to killing them, that's another tough decision for me. How can I kill without pain? Because I feel I'm one of them. It's kind of like a mini me in a different setting is the lobster. Although there's no connection, I sympathize, I have compassionate feelings. I want to kill him. Now, I mentioned this different phases of my emotion, and I can picture in my mind, if I have MRI, different set of the neurons or mini-me's, structured here and there in a different segment, are like lightning. We are processing those, and there may be hormone processing, the dopamine or adrenaline, whatever, going through as I experience this in my brain. So that's what it is. And we talk about me, but I cannot be just one. There are lots of subsets. And you can say me is an integration of it, and I believe so. And that's why I think about the company and mini company or mini company structure that I was talking about to help people to be motivated to be like a mini company president, understanding the customer, suppliers, and bankers and employees. No matter what level you are doing to accomplish a mission, to satisfy the customer, and so forth. So the similar structure exists within the brain. The mini me is like a mini company. There's a mini me and a mini me, whatever that is. And some of those connections are not just hierarchical, but lots of network, very convoluted. So this mini me 1 may be connected to mini 2 in certain way because some special linkage, a commonality they may develop. So it's a convoluted network of the brain, and the mini-me and lots of mini-me's and mini-me's are all convoluted as in the company. Now, so who am I? You can choose this part of me, just catching the lobster or losing the lobster or feeling painful about the lobster. So those are the symptoms that I can see me going through. The lightning within the network changes this location to that location, and the hormone level may change among with other some kind of chemicals, I'm pretty sure. And as we get older, the functioning of those may change. As we were younger, perhaps we don't have much database memories, so our functioning is in a much different manner. When I was 5 years old, 2 years old, that me is different from myself at the age 71. There's no question about it. Even though we think it's the same me, things are changing. That's the discussion about Dogen. He was talking about drifting down the river on the boat, and we think the scenery is changing, but the boat itself is changing, and that's the reality of it. So if we look at the dynamic process of how we feel, how we age, and what we go through, that gives us more of a realistic, hopefully true, more scientific view of what's happening. This lightening in the brain is different at certain age, and with the memory, it starts to create a different structure, the memory point, and the references create different way of reacting, and our habitual pattern may change according to the stimuli and what we go through. So that's our life, and that's, to me, is quite interesting, because it's not me. There are lots of me's, mini-me's, and that mini-me is changing constantly. And our world on this planet is me and you and lobster and the monkeys and baboons, whatever, collectively interfacing with each other. If you look at it imaginary process of this linkage, lots of lightning going on everywhere because of the interaction. So if you look at this planet of this fireball of interaction, lightning going on from billions of light years away, it's like you don't notice anything. Even if this planet Earth is exploding, if you're billions of light years away, you just don't notice it. So if I'm there, it's just of no value. And if we are here, no value if the issue is the other side of the earth. But when it comes to the lobster next to me, or if that's the matter of my toe, pinched or hurt or something, you feel the pain. So it's a real pain. So on one hand, we face the reality of the pain, and that's real at the moment. But if you look at what's going on from this plane of the convoluted network of the firing of the neurons and the connection from outside, you see a different view. And certainly this view, the dynamic view of the firing, is constantly changing. And you cannot even draw a line where me start and where the me end. In looking at the hair or whatever, it sometimes grows and go away, and there's a new cells born, and old cells are going away. And as such, and as I explained about our growth over time. We are changing from the age 1, 3, 5, 12, 20, 30, 51, 71 years old. So everything is changing. Everything is changing. And the view of Zen, in my view, is to look at the whole thing in somewhat the manner that I was talking about, as if you are not part of it, but you are overlooking of the whole situation, like from billion of light years away, you're looking at it. Or me looking at myself as if I'm aware of multiple mini-me's functioning with each other, as if it's the lightning in the neurons that I can picture. And you can be just quiet, calm, and look at my emotion as temporary firing of neurons, and it changes. There's a study done, I forgot who, but if you have anger, if you let it be without touching, by triggering more anger would bring in different reference point. If you let the anger to be, in 90 seconds, it will go away. That's the effect of being calm and quiet. So that's the practice of meditation and Zen, to know the dynamics as if you're looking at the situation from outside and just observing. In the case of catching lobster, this happens this way, this happens that way, up and down, fun, and lessons learning and all that. And you're observing all of that as if you are very much detached from that mini-me reaction. So if we can identify mini-me's playing a game, we can be a big me, objectively looking, or I call it the mirror mind, just reflecting what's moving in the screen and just looking at it, detached. That's Zen. So who is that watching? That's an interesting question. And that's, well, let's use this example and end this story. It's called The Eyes of Eckhart, or I think it's connected to Krishnamurti, who says, observer is observed. Eckhart eyes are like the one that who sees you are the ones that you see. So there's a mini me to someone else, kind of like that. So what's the discussion of what I did about this Zen and the science or biology? I think we can look at this way that I explained. I may have gone very quickly and very in a nebulous manner, but if you can follow me and think through this and picture yourself outside of the game being played, that you are the game itself. That's a tricky paradox, and that's the paradox, absolute paradox, that if you can identify with certain viewpoint of that moving and you and connection of it, and be stable, be calm and quiet, I think you may have a moment of enlightenment or understanding of who we are. The question of know thyself may be connected to such a state.